Hi, this is Jason Faulkner, aka Shop Weasel. I'm gonna do an hour-long video this morning, pandering to acquire $1 million loan so I can get my on my feet and my act together business-wise. Uh, my newest plan, I want to borrow $1 million. I'm using all my intellectual property, my carts, my shopping bag holders, my work barrels as securities. I want to borrow $1 million and I'm going to pay $2 million back in 12 months. I use the term 12 months loosely. I'm going to argue with you to give me an extra 2 months because 2 months might make the difference. And odds are, you're dealing with rich people and, this indoctrination of our society, sort of like that gotcha attitude, that Johnny Knoxvilleism, that 1984 Al Bundy's Fox programming, that gotcha, ha ha ha. I'm into sadism and I love it. Well, I'm going to argue with you for extra 2 months. But you said a year, Jason. I'm also going to print a picture of Donald Trump out on my cheap Canon Chinese printer. Everything of ours is pretty much Chinese-ified thanks to Trump. But I need a picture of Trump. That reinforces, the passe. Uh, you know, he's all right. He's willing to print a picture of Trump out. At least it's something, some sort of homage to our great toady of rock and roll, Donald Trump. But anyway, that's all irrelevant. I need $1 million. I'm going to pay you $2 million back in 12 months, 14 months. You never know. These Johnny Knoxvillers, these Donald Trumpers, these what do they call those? These affirmative actionites. Affirmative actionites. Oh, the Celtics, the Cultics, the Royal Optics. I don't know what they are. Anyway, they're all over, coast to coast in America, and they're all entitled. They know that there's a victim class that everybody gets to abuse and gets a free pass. I'm part of that victim class. I don't know how I wound up on there. I have a feeling even my own immediate family members had something to do with it. But whatever, you know. I'm sitting here doing my thing, folks. Ain't nothing gonna stop me. I'm feeling great. You know, these Highlander imperialists aren't stopping me. I'm getting my stage set up. I'm gonna put everything out here. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I need $1 million. I know I can get a CNC wire bender for 75 grand, 100 grand. A modern one with two heads that'll bend each end of my shopping bag holders. Whatever. Hire 3, 4, 5, 6 people. Put me a new metal building here. Tear all this out. Put a concrete floor in. Put me a metal building in. Get 2 lawyers or 1 lawyer. Get the squatter off my property. This deep state Manchurian freak. These pair of deep state poverty pimpers. They're all freaks. Unapproachable freaks. Even their attorney, the deep state CIA attorney, Pepper Bowser. You can see a lot into the very name of these people. Pepper Bowser, It's a sick society that's very heavily engineered. So I just walked through a mile of cobwebs coming through here. And I don't mind that, the spiders belong here. And I even got one hanging off my nose. There we go. And, you know, this gangland stalking, I'm going to use 20 grand of that $1 million. I'm going to make a lot of people cry for 20 grand. Cry utterly and run. This gangland beltway, gangland mobster groups of cops and corruption that they have built into this heartland of America is atrocious. It's egregious. It's aggressive. These people actually have mutated their official positions within the government as to send people down the road constantly, number one. Anyway, to actually target people for community stalking with the end game goal of destroying these people, these individuals like myself. And they use drug addiction too. I mean, they've got a huge scale of very nefarious scumbags within their system that smuggle children, addict people to drugs, commit abuses on people, young and old. And they have a big, vast void, a dark secret spot within their government called the justice system. And it takes people right back to the dark ages. It can hide you like you existed in the dark ages while they abuse you openly and do all sorts of evil on you. And I'm fighting that. I want to put a hurting on these people, these judges, these corrupt judges who sit on their bench practicing corruption day in and out, a blind corruption that the whore media will never cover realistically. It's the great American whore media. They do the paparazzi glitz, gloss that pig up until it shines type thing. They don't do, well, you're an individual poor target in America having to exist, and we don't see you and we're not going to. And they float fake news stories. The black boy in Nashville got beat up and, he's on national news now and he can't breathe. But, that's just a fake news story. They've been ever increasing false flagging our nation's news heavily so they don't have to put the real news out, And that way we can sit out here in the real world and scream bloody hell murder. Or do like I do, just the opposite. Do your best, innovate, and figure out that the media isn't going to save you. Hollering isn't going to save you in this world. It's being smart and brave and innovative. Building neat stuff that's going to make you rich and stand out from the rest of these pilfers who like your neat stuff also and have started community stalking you years earlier when they seen you had enough sense to find the right place to work your way into getting number one that they themselves overlooked. And that makes you an instant target. I knew that back then because I felt them. They instantly started poverty pimping us. All these great Highlander German worshiping freak boys and vape in your face punks and these high-nosed oddballs that get mutated throughout the years in these areas. You can look at them and you can tell they're oddballs. Grandpa shouldn't have drank too much of that radiator wash, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. The government came in and fucked everyone up. Who knows? There's a UFO buried under the land. I don't know. Who cares? I have my own approach and my way out, which is to innovate these very neat, fantastic, lucrative products. And, hey, I got some more trash in my bag. I've got some eye bolts that I bought for these, and I need to make a pair of these with eye bolts that I can twirl them like guns. Do some fancy stuff that's different. Get people's attention. You know, show them, hey man, look at this. This freaking thing is awesome. You can twirl it and the bag hasn't fell off. You know, I'm like that. When I'm working, I gotta lift that lid up every now and then to grab something. And that's gotta work. And it does work. And I need to make this. This is the easiest, cheapest thing I can make right now. I don't need a $250,000 plastic mold and injection machine to make this. These shopping bag holders, I need a $75,000 CNC wire bender that'll not only bend those, but make the double framed ones, the heavy duty ones. And, you know, I can hire a guy named Pedro to cut wood handles out and put them in a drill press and drill the wire slots for them, or to run the ends down the router for the heavy duty version that has the double wire. Yeah, and sand them and stain them, glue them together, put them in a box, and let's ship them, people. That's why I need $1 million. But I am going to get the $20,000 worth of attorneys. I need at least 2 T350 Ford vans. One for myself, because I have no vehicle. They poverty pimped me into oblivion. And 2, a second one, at least another one. So Pedro and maybe Alice or whoever I have here doing this for me, with me, is going to start shipping these damn things. Even if it's just loading them up from here, getting them to the UPS place in Morristown, which is another super deep Orwellian state. I figured out Morristown, Tennessee is the syndicate hub that controls the corruption of all these surrounding counties, these Anderson, Claiborne, Granger. They've got a hub. It's not Knoxville. Knoxville is even larger and more Orwellian than you could ever imagine. But it's like the semiconductor of the whole coastal plain, you know, the whole coast, inland coast, triangular Bermuda thing. It's got its own Smoky Mountain range to reign the corruption stateswide. But Morristown controls these locals. Morristown, Tennessee. You know how I know? I've ran so many ads over there and got the gravitas of what they're about. I've seen the interaction with them, and it's cold, isolated, isolationist core. They don't care. And half their businesses are shut down because, you know, how do I say this? The economy that functions for them is not our propaganda economy. It's not you work 7 days, 6 days a week, 5 days a week, and you get a paycheck. It don't work that way with them people. That's the front story. What works with them people is they're all damn corrupt, and they know the crimes because they're within the core of that corruption, and they get their communist affirmative action money each month, and that's it. And they're never going to get a penny more, and they know it. Most of them know it. Most of them have no wiggle room because they know everyone above them is as corrupt as them, as freaky as them, and as secure as them, and nobody's going to nudge them off an inch of their power. So everybody's locked into a phase of they got what they got, and that's that. And they can close the world down, and it's still going to be the same. And they all go and pray on it and play on it and whatever. And they have their football, and they worship their sports people, and that's it. And they have a vast prison complex, their corrupt justice system, and that's it. And they have their grifting institutes of, you know, we're the state, we're here to nanny you. You get old, we're going to put you in care, and we're going to care for you, and that's it. Okay. Well, there's a big segment supposedly in America of us innovators, us prosperity building, ingenuity gurus, building stuff, and that's me. And they know it. I felt, when I sat out on the side of the road with these, I studied these people, and you see the jealousy in their fucking face as they drove by. And then most of them wouldn't stop, but you see that gleam in their eye, like I can do that, and that's pretty damn neat. I think we're gonna. That boy's in a lot of trouble for doing that. That's what they were looking at. And I said, fuck what they say. I'm doing it anyway. And I spent 2 years sitting out on the hot sun peddling these and only sold 2. Oh, but you sold 2. That means you don't have no rights to it. Oh, buzz off. I can read your minds. I don't have to read your minds. I know your playbook forward and back, chumps. Anyway, this is my intellectual property. The shopping bags holders there are. The fine card is, because I built it all. And my shop weasel salamander, the jewel, the family jewel, the tote specialist, King Tote. It's got clamping sides, lighted, it folds up. It does everything that their carts do, but better. Funner, more purposeful, ruggeder, better looking, worlds apart from anything they have right there. And that's me, but I can't make this yet because I don't have no money. I can make my shopping bag holders right now, this year, starting today. If I could garner the attention through the bloody oligarch's firewall, which sucks, where even your own family are used against you as prison guards to make sure that you're never effective. And that's what they do. And I don't have no family now. My dad died, and he was just the same, though. He would sit there and rap on that table like this nervously, day in and out, for my whole life. Or have that outburst of hostility. But he's gone, I coped with that toward the end of his life, and he was all right. He was just beat down like they tried to beat me down. I knew that from when I was young. And I'm the intelligent one here, so I've got a problem. I need $1 million. I'm going to use my intellectual properties as securities. And I'm going to go to work my ass off the day I get my money. Or I can make $2 million within a year. And I can do that. I'll probably make more than $2 million the first year. Or 14 months, as I should say. We're going to use a leap year strategy for me. Because I'm going to count on all these shit boogers to fuck with me for 2 months straight. Trying to get at me and to hinder me throughout this whole process. But I ain't worried about all that. I'm going to make $2 million and give you $2 million back within 12 months. 14 months, just because I'm smart enough not to go for what's obvious. 14 months. I'm going to give you $2 million back. My name's Jason Faulkner, a.k.a. Shop Weasel, resident of East Tennessee since 2007. Resident of the heart of the oligarch, Florida, since 1984. And that state of Missouri before then, which I'll never go back to. That's children of the corn, hardcore bullshit there. Don't want nothing to do with that place. That's the forfeit American dream there. And they didn't even start out with much. It was worth a damn. So, anyway, I'm going to get $1 million, use all my valuable assets as collateral, which is dangerous, Believe it or not, it's hard to innovate great things. I got my coffee. Got my tripod. Got my cart outside. Yeah, I was gonna try all sorts of stuff this morning. I was ready to line my shopping bags with bags. I've got boxes of these shopping bag holders in my house. And I was gonna put a bag in all of them and have them lined up and tape them around and do all sorts of fancy entertainment with them. But why bother? They are what they are. They work. They work fine. It allows you to put a clean receptacle on your kitchen counter or your kitchen table by themselves on a hook in your hand, on end, or with a stand even. You know, you can put a stand. I built the stand for them actually, but I don't know. I like a better stand. It's got to be a uniform, reproducible stand, but I'm not sticking with one specific stand neither. I'm going to make different kinds of stands. The stands are important. And when you're making these stands by hand, it can be a little difficult, but you make them out of whatever you can. The fancier, the better, you know. If they're all aluminum housing, gilded, that slides in and out, and even just a square frame that looks nice. Something people would want to sit on their kitchen table or on their kitchen counter. So be it. These meet that requirement now. You know, these shopping bag holders, they're elegant enough, even as a wood stain handle. Perfect. You make them in different colors, whatever. I need $1 million to make these. I don't really need $1 million to make these. I mean, the CNC metal bender is going to be $100,000 at the most, and then I need a bunch of wood, a bunch of stain, a bunch of laborers. Make them however I can. I probably need a welder for these double wireframe ones, and put a tack weld on 4 corners so the double wires never move out of place and they're perfect. Whatever. $1 million. Yep. I'm gonna give you $2 million back. That's cool. I'm not making my work barrels, and I'm not gonna manufacture these carts yet. What I am gonna do with that same $1 million, I'm gonna get these in production. My shopping bag holders. I'll need to sell 200,000 of them to raise your $2 million at $10 each for the regular ones. 200,000 of them. Now, my double frame heavy versions, I'm going to have to sell for more money. I'll sell those for 15 or 20 each. And then my stands, depending on how nice they are, there'll be different prices. There'll be an economy stand for the average person, and a series of nice stands for the more well-to-do and business-oriented people that like that gilded nameplate. Well, this is the CEO of whatever. And here's my modernistic shopping bag holder sitting in my nice whatever. Supposed to be able to shove it right in there. I only got one hand, so I think I'll just leave it there. Or you can hang it on the hook like I leave mine in the out here in the shop, you know. That way when you need it, you just sort of quick draw it up, go about your business with it, and throw it back up wherever. That's cool. That's what I'm going to make now. And I need $1 million for it. And I'm putting up my intellectual property in my Shop Weasel Salamander universal folding travel carts, including the sporting cart version, which the fishing realm is a huge mega industry. All the rich people love fishing and boating. All the poor people love fishing and boating. Everybody loves fishing and boating, but fishing is a huge industry. And awesome, if not the best fishing cart you're going to find. And original design cart you'll ever find too. I shop with it at Walmart, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, anywhere I shop. I love putting a tote in it, clamping it in, and go shopping. It's got lights built into it. You can, when you go for that evening walk, if you don't feel secure, you take your cart with you, and you've got light. You've got a safety feature, a barricade that puts you in front of any danger. Put something in between you and danger, which is a weasel, my shop weasel. Very advantageous cart. Yeah. Millions of uses. My shopping bag holders, which is just a next level genius as anything I build. That's an intellectual property worth a lot too. And my work barrels. I have no problem divulging the further revisions that it needs, but it's still, you can look at it and tell, hey, that's an awesome thing. And it is. Okay, my name's Jason Faulkner, East Tennessee. I'm going to upload this video 26 minutes. We'll call it the half-hour video. How's that? I'm going to drink my coffee and get this posted. So I guess I can go ahead and set the stage and do a day's worth of videos. I have nothing else to do. My garden's doing great. All my cucumbers are growing. I transplanted another tomato out of the cucumber batch into its own container. It's doing good. I'm going to have to build a support trellis here for all my tomatoes. Cucumber, tomato, cucumbers. That guy there, he was looking pretty questionable. Half of them died in the heat of a day the other day. Sort of wilted them down, and he ain't rebound yet from that, but the other half's hanging in there. So I put a shade now over them in the heat of the day. I just turn this sort of ingeniously sideways, hang my shade over the whole thing, and clamp it in place so they don't burn up. Once they get bigger and start trellising through here, they'll create their own shade. And like when the ends or the middles of them start wilting, to go water the base, and that usually perks them up throughout the rest of the day and gives them the strength they need to go on. Plus, I got my squash. One's finally coming up here. But I've got plenty of squash. I planted a bunch down there. I'm not going to use that for worms. I had a bunch of leftover squash seeds, so I threw them all around in there. They're coming up. Then I got my other squash down here. They're going really good. They're going really good. They're all going to come up and do their thing. And then this is just my worm bin. This is my compost pile. I've got a thick mat of hay and fine grass cuttings in there. And then a deep one in the trough in the back. A deep trough of just hay with a layer of dirt, and then another layer of hay, and then another layer of dirt. Sort of help it all aerate in. Just doing my worms there. And the birds love digging through it, eating all the little scraps. Anyway, there's my plans. I'm going to get me a lawyer, and I'm going to go after this batch of gangland cops that they think they're going to railroad me into prison over by assaulting me and saying I did the assaulting, but they did the same thing 3 years ago. They moved another family of Manchurians in down the hill, and they set the stage to try to assassinate me. Then they said they took me to court. They arrested me the day that I figured out what they were up to. And they arrested me. And while my dad was alive, he came down and bailed me out. But their plans fell through because they didn't shoot me in the head down here at the foot of my drive like they thought they had planned with the government, these corrupt cops, to do to me. So, as it turns out, I had to go to court repeatedly over that in this county. And it's the same accusation that they're using in that instance as these cops are using in this other instance, that I did something horribly wrong to a big group of people. They said, these Manchurians said that they were all up here on my property up by my house, and I had assaulted all of them. It was so ridiculous. They were ace wrapping tennis balls to their eyes to have like a big bruise 5 months later, and showing up in court with this big fucking bruise, saying, oh, I had beat the whole family up here. They never were up here. One of them did drive up to the top of my driveway and shot a .38 gun off in the air in his work van that had a GPS in it, and then backed immediately down like a thug would. But I was supposed to have had my brains blown out that day. But I won in court, but the DA is the same as the DA of this new case they're doing. They prosecuted me and persecuted me to the last minute, and they said, you know, we really don't have nothing on you. It's just more of a he said, she said. Even though I demanded that the sheriff that was in on it show his body camera footage in court, he refused to come into court. And the judge, during trial, looked at me and said, you know, Mr. Faulkner, I guess you just don't even get that. We're just going to pretend like we make the law, which they do, and whoopee, you don't get that. Well, I argued very well enough, even without that information that I was supposed to have a right to where the defendant tried to run out of the goddamn courtroom at the end of it when the case was dismissed. And the DA's irritated ass at that point, and the judge and the rest of the mob, they didn't like that, because to them, that punk thug that beat me that day, that was supposed to set me up to where I was going to get my brains blown out, let them down. And he tried to run out of the courtroom, and the DA said, you come back here to the bench. And he said, Mr. Faulkner, you can go. We're done with you. You're scum. You're nobody. You have no money. Go on now. You don't get no victims reconciliations. We're never going to contact you again, except while you're driving home from the very hearing, and an anonymous voice says, we're not done with you yet. From all these mastermind assholes around here and coast to coast in America. And I've got the same problem here with these cops that tried to do the same thing, but they openly tried to beat me to death on the side of the damn highway, unprovoked, all under the guise of a welfare check on me, which is just a cover story. These assholes ain't got my welfare in their interest at all. Matter of fact, it was an assassination attempt, the second one. So I need a lawyer, because with a $10,000 lawyer, I can probably make a lot of these people around here go put the barrel of their own little guns in their fucking mouths and pull the trigger effortlessly. It just takes someone to say, hey, where's the information? Where's the information? Mr. Faulkner wants the information, and we're going to put it in front of the corrupt judge. And, you know, what are they going to do then? They're going to cry like they do and whine. And when confronted with the truth, you know, the judge will threaten you. They always do. I'll hold you in contempt. I haven't been in front of a judge that hasn't said that to me yet. I'm 54, and I don't go in front of these dirty, corrupt systems much. Not when I can help it. But every time I've went in front of one of these damn judges, they have threatened me with contempt. Now one of them has done me so, you know, has taken it a step beyond, but I'm not bullshitting with these people. This guy's been stealing my electric. He has no right to be here. I want him gone. He's a terrorist. And that fat little cow that's with him, you know, I want him gone. I want him off my property. And this open assassination lifestyle of these people that is ingrained in them, they go to hell. That's what I think. It even exists all around us. We just don't know it. I mean, even walking down the road, minding my own business. Another one of these weirdos up here taking shots at me from up on his place down by the road, just for me walking by. And then to have the sheriff come out and sit like a sultan in his car on his fat mobster rump with an air of arrogance that is unmistakable as the rest of them, or the one that assaulted me up here on my own property just for trying to get a package. Another setup incident. And, I want that lawyer. Yeah. I had 5 lawyers, $1 million lawyers. I had 5 of them over these cops trying to beat me to death. And every one of them swearing up and down they're going to do what they've got to do for me. Because it's obvious. Look at the damn videos. They tried to kill your ass. And it looks pretty bad. Even the court gesture public defenders are like, it looks bad, but we're not going to do nothing for you because you're incompetent. You don't count. You're not a member like we are. So you ain't got shit to stand on. But I do, in my own way. And when I get this shit to stand on, I'm going to stand on it. And you'll know the day that stand it on, because they're going to fucking start activating. We're going to see some reaction out of these son of a bitches. Yeah. And I'm really not even worried about them. Yeah, I'm worried about getting your $2 million back. Because I'm going to make 10 million. And then 20 million. And then 50 million. I'm going to make as much money as I can before I die in this world, because I've had to subject myself under the extremes of just the opposite, being poverty pimped and firewalled by a bunch of demons, even my own family, or the cops, the lawyers, the workforce, whatever. I'm me. I'm doing what I got to do, and I'm doing a pretty damn good job, Jack. I'm feeling great. I'm out of chewing tobacco too, but I can wait 10 days. I got coffee. My birthday's in 10 days. Don't send me nothing. I don't want nothing from any of you except $1 million. I can make do from there. Yep. I'm good at that point because I can hustle and I can talk and I can open many doors with money. And I've got some fabulous stuff that everybody's going to love once they see it. Oh, but you've been posting videos online for years. You've even had a website. It's firewalled, Jack. But when I do have that Shop Weasel van, and I've mingled enough with the rich and wealthy, they're not going to keep me out. They know that. So I will get seen. I will get interest. I will get customers. You'll buy one for $10 too, at least my shopping bag holders. A lot of you are getting pretty old in the knee. A lot of your asses ain't going to be able to push around a 65-pound shopping cart. You'll be able to push around my 23-pound Shop Weasel. And like it's a dream, like you were a teenager again, and do all your shopping. Then have the bag boy load your totes into the back of your vehicle for you. Yep. There we have it. Hey, I'm 54. I don't feel like pushing around an iron shopping cart. Or even one of their nasty plastic ones that are just like a pack of razor blades put together, I can't think of the number of times I've cut my fingers on them hard plastic shopping carts. It's not right, There it is. My phone number is 423-231-2241. Jason Faulkner from East Tennessee. If you have some snidey Johnny Knoxville shit to say, don't even post it. Don't tell me about it. I don't care. I know anyone's brain is capable of being pre-programmed or preloaded with any sort of bullshit or any amount of it, and I'm not interested. I'm interested for that gilded-clad person that has somehow become rich and has retained enough sensibilities to say, you know, this guy's probably a good investment. He's going to give me $1 million for $1 million loan. That's $2 million in a year or 14 months. Okay, that's me. I'm the guy that's going to do that for you. I'm very friendly, approachable, intelligent, and smart. I got my act together. And my phone number is 423-231-2241. My address is 1289 Indian Creek Road, Thornhill, Tennessee. That's two separate words. 37881. And Jason Faulkner, aka Shop Weasel. Have a good one. Thank you.